Mecha Talk is a series of videos talking about mecha-related topics. For this video, we'll be covering the origins and abilities of some of the more notable versions of Unicron, one of the most well-known and powerful beings in the Transformers franchise. Before we begin, I would like to thank Winosh, New Pantheon, and primusprime22 for their immense help with the research on Unicron. This video would not have been possible if not for their assistance. Joining me in this video is primusprime22. He's a big fan of the Transformers and has made a number of insightful videos explaining the storylines, terminologies, and concepts in the Transformers franchise.
Hey, what's up everybody, primusprime22 here, helping to bring you some information on Unicron.
With that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Eons ago, the ancient scientists known as Primacron will create the ultimate doomsday weapon known as Unicron. These versions of Unicron, who are also known as the Primacronian Unicrons, can be found across the Transformers multiverse. Arguably the most well-known Primacronian Unicron is the one that appeared in the 1986 Transformers movie and the later seasons of the Generation 1 cartoon series. The 1986 Transformers movie in particular is where the character Unicron will make his first ever appearance in the Transformers franchise.
The Primacron in this continuity had hoped to use Unicron to wipe out all life in the galaxy, but Unicron would rebel against his creator, nearly killing him. Unicron would ravage across the galaxy, consuming countless planets until the year 2005, where it attacked the Transformer homeworld of Cybertron, and was met with heavy resistance from both the Autobots and the Decepticons. Eventually, with the power of the Matrix of Leadership, one of the few things in the universe that can kill Unicron, Unicron was destroyed from within and spent the remainder of his existence as a floating head that would be forever lost in the depths of space.
While considered to be one of the weakest incarnations of the character, the Primacronian Unicron is still quite powerful. He is capable of devouring entire moons and planets and can travel at faster than light speeds. Unicron can transform into his enormous robot form, which allows him to destroy entire planets with his bare hands. He is capable of firing beams from his eyes and corrosive flames from his mouth. He is durable enough that not even the force of an exploding moon can damage him. However, his eyes seem to be rather weak since spaceships can easily pierce through them. In addition, he does show some trouble when fighting smaller foes like the Dinobots, who can easily outmaneuver him.
Within his body lies internal defense and repair systems, as well as an internal smelting pool, where anything eaten by Unicron is broken down and absorbed. Even when reduced to just a head, Unicron has shown the ability to restore the bodies of dead Transformers such as Starscream. He is also capable of reformatting the damaged bodies of Transformers to form strong heralds to serve him, most notable of which is Galvatron, who is created from the damaged remains of Megatron. In addition, Unicron has some level of cosmic awareness which allows him to orchestrate events across the universe, as well as keep track of the whereabouts of the Matrix of Leadership and its owners. He is also able to mentally torture others into submission, allowing him to keep his servants in check.
In the Japanese Generation 1 cartoon continuity, notably in Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo, Unicron's green energy is able to act as a powerful source of energy known as Angomore. Angomore is extremely chaotic and unpredictable, and its effects range from upgrading the body of a Transformer to adversely affecting the environment of entire planets. When this energy is released into the body of a dead Transformer, Unicron is able to possess that body. Unicron can then absorb the life force of his servants to create a new powerful body capable of bending time and space, as well as wiping out entire fleets within seconds. By possessing Vector Sigma, the core of Cybertron, Unicron nearly succeeded in transforming Cybertron into his new body. It ultimately took the combined efforts of the Maximals and Predacons to defeat Unicron for good.
Overall, the Primacron versions of Unicron have consistently shown the power to destroy entire planets, manipulate matter, and bend others to their will via mind control. However, the Transformers multiverse is a big place, and far stronger versions of the character with similar power sets exist in other continuities and universes.
Long ago, Unicron was created as an astral being by the One, a powerful extra-dimensional entity. Unicron was tasked with exploring the unknown universe, but he had other plans. As a god of pure evil and chaos, Unicron consumed nearly everything in the universe, from planets to even reality, leaving only a lifeless void. The tiny remaining fragments of the universe reacted and triggered the Big Bang, forming a new universe known as Primax 984 Gamma, where the storylines of the Marvel US Transformers comics take place.
The One, having been alerted to Unicron's misdeeds, used its powers to split Unicron in half. While one form remained as Unicron, the Lord of Chaos, the other became his brother Primus, the Lord of Light and Order. Primus and Unicron would wage a long war with each other, and this war came to be known as the Theomachy. As astral beings, Unicron and Primus were able to withstand the force of the Big Bang, shake the very universe with their clashes, as well as destroy any nearby planets and suns around them.
Due to fear of harming the life around him, Primus would hold himself back, and Unicron would often exploit this weakness to gain an advantage over his brother. Primus eventually tricked Unicron into merging with an asteroid, thereby trapping the God of Chaos. However, over a long period of time, Unicron would psionically alter the asteroid's surface into that of his monstrous planet form, so that he could continue his consumption of the universe. Unicron soon learned how to transform his planetary form to that of a giant robot, which is comparable in size to that of Saturn.
Primus would become the mechanical world of Cybertron and created 13 original Transformers to combat Unicron. One of the 13 would be corrupted by Unicron and eventually betrayed Primus in favor of the God of Chaos. This traitor would forever become known as the Fallen for his betrayal. The war soon ended with Unicron and the Fallen being banished somewhere within the universe. With Unicron defeated, Primus would go into self-imposed sleep for eons, while the Transformer race grew and prospered. Primus would leave behind the Matrix of Leadership, a conduit which allows the users to tap onto the power of Primus as well as access the afterlife of the Transformers. The Matrix of Leadership would be handed down through the many generations of Autobot leaders, and it's one of the few consistent things across the Transformers multiverse that can defeat Unicron.
In the year 1990, Primus would be accidentally awakened during a battle between the Autobots and Decepticons. Primus would then unleash a multiversal shaking scream which awakened Unicron in the fringes of space. Unicron would then travel to his brother's location, leaving behind a path of death and destruction. Unicron has the power to not only mentally dominate his heralds, but also mentally enslave other weak-minded Transformers as well, turning them into his acolytes. For example, when Optimus Prime was chosen as Primus's champion, these acolytes of Unicron would be activated and attempt to assassinate Optimus Prime. In addition, Unicron has the ability to travel to or send his heralds to other universes or alternate timelines. One time, he even used this ability to kidnap Transformers from other universes and force them to battle to the death, so that he may consume the sparks of the defeated.
On his way to Cybertron, he sent heralds to an alternate timeline, where an alternate version of Unicron and his herald Galvatron had successfully defeated Primus and the Autobots. The heralds proceeded to kidnap that timeline's Galvatron, so that he may serve their Unicron and lead them to victory as well. Unfortunately for Unicron, this Galvatron would betray him and side with the other Transformers. Unicron eventually arrived on Cybertron and killed countless Transformers during the battle. Near the climax of the battle, Optimus Prime entered the body of Unicron and unleashed the full power of the Matrix, destroying Unicron's body from within and saving Cybertron.
In a parallel timeline, specifically that of the Marvel UK Transformers comics, Unicron's body was blown up and reduced to just a head. However, despite losing his body, Unicron showed that he could still mentally enslave the entire population of planet Junk as well as battle others on the astral plane. Eventually, the mind of the Unicron in this timeline would be sealed within the Matrix, thus ending his reign of terror.
Both Unicron and Primus are products of the same multiversal singularity, but both exist in the multiverse in different ways. Primus is capable of simultaneously existing in every universe and anchors the multiverse together as the God of Order. Unicron, on the other hand, can only exist in one universe at a time, moving between them at will as the God of Chaos. If he succeeds in destroying a universe, he simply moves on to the next. If he is destroyed or defeated, his dark spark or essence of Unicron will travel somewhere else to be reformed with a new body and abilities. Overall, Unicron is an entity capable of traveling across different dimensions and has successfully consumed approximately 22.56% of the known multiverse.
However, it should be noted that not all Unicrons in the multiverse are related to the multiversal singularity. The primusprime Unicrons mentioned in part 1 of this video are examples of Unicrons that share no relation to their multiversal Singularity counterpart. While the primusprime Unicrons are simply planet destroyers, the very existence of the multiversal Unicron is capable of creating shockwaves that can erase entire galaxies and damage the very fabric of space-time as well.
As such, these Unicrons are entirely different entities. In fact, there was one instance during the Universe War when the Multiversal Unicron arrived and existed in a universe that already had a primusprime Unicron, further proving that they were different entities. While successfully defeated in the Marvel Comics continuities, Unicron would continue to fight against Primus in various different universes, one of which is RX-802.23 Alpha, the universe where the events of Transformers Armada, Energon, and Cybertron took place.
A primal force of evil from the beginning of time, his origins lost to history, this version of Unicron is the embodiment of the darkness and hate in the hearts of all living beings. Entire civilizations, such as the East, have gone mad and killed themselves simply due to Unicron's passive influence on their planet. Once the East had become extinct, Unicron managed to convert their planet into a new body, showing his ability to adapt and corrupt others to suit his needs.
After being defeated by Omega Supreme, Unicron would disguise himself and lay dormant as one of Cybertron's moons. Unicron would feed off the hatred from the Great Autobot-Decepticon War, and created the Minicons to further escalate the war, which continued to last for millions of years. With the energy blast from his horns, Unicron can easily destroy entire armadas. He can teleport and fire energy beams capable of easily destroying multiple planets at once. After destroying a planet, Unicron would absorb its remains to fuel himself. In addition, by feeding off the hatred of the Transformers, Unicron is able to instantly heal himself from any damage inflicted, making him extremely difficult to kill.
Unicron's body contains antibodies in the form of bot spiders that help to protect his interior from harm. In addition, he can change the terrain in his body at will to deal with any threats. Unicron can create heralds such as Sideways and also possess the bodies of other Transformers such as Shock Blast and Galvatron.
While he does have strong regenerative abilities, Unicron was badly damaged when Planet Q, a planet he was attacking, self-destructed, causing Unicron to be knocked offline. In addition, Unicron's body was soundly destroyed during his fight with Optimus Supreme, who was supercharged by Primus. While his body is destroyed, Unicron's spark lived on in Galvatron's consciousness and managed to possess Galvatron's body. However, Galvatron would regain control of his body and plunged himself into an Energon sun, seemingly trapping Unicron's essence.
However, the Energon sun would collapse into a black hole, which led to the imbalance between good and evil in the universe. This black hole would be known as the Unicron Singularity, and it had the potential to destroy the entire multiverse if left unchecked. Thankfully, once his powers were fully restored, Primus was able to destroy the Unicron Singularity and save the multiverse. Unicron would continue to exist in other universes, such as the Union cluster of universes, where the events of Transformers Prime took place.
At the beginning of the Union cluster of universes, one abstract being explored the cluster. It developed two distinct philosophies on life. One believed that it was sacred and worth protecting, while the other found it pointless, cruel, and needed to end. These voices developed their own personalities, and the being was eventually divided into Primus and Unicron. Similar to his backstory in the Marvel Comics, Unicron aimed to consume reality, but was defeated by Primus and the 13, who cast him away in space.
As Unicron drifted through space, he attracted space debris around himself and eventually became the planet Earth. When the Dark Spark broke down the multiversal barricade of the Union cluster, the multiversal Unicron Singularity was merged with that of its aligned counterpart, awakening the Unicron in this universe from his slumber. Viewing the humans and other living beings on his body as parasites, Unicron aimed to destroy them all, but he was ultimately stopped by Optimus Prime, who used the power of the Matrix to deactivate Unicron. Due to being the very Earth itself, Unicron has shown that he has complete control over the planet. He can cause natural disasters as well as create golem incarnations of himself to battle his enemies. Within his body, Unicron's insides are protected by antibodies which appear as a swarm of flying creatures. Unicron's lifeblood, Dark Energon, can corrupt those that come into contact with it, as well as raise the dead, creating a horde of Terracons.
During the events of the Predacons Rising movie, Unicron was reawakened in his energy form, and he used Dark Energon to not only revive and possess Megatron's body, but also create an undead army of Terracons as well. With his new body, Unicron is able to travel to Cybertron within minutes. Together with his undead army, Unicron attempted to destroy the Allspark, which would mean the end to Cybertron. However, Optimus Prime would use the container of the Allspark to trap Unicron's energy form, freeing Megatron and putting an end to both Unicron and the Terracons.
During the 2015 event known as the Shrouding, in order to stabilize the multiverse, Nexus Prime will use the Star Saber and Terminus Blade to strengthen the boundaries between dimensions, effectively putting an end to multiversal singularities such as Primus and Unicron. All known multiversal singularities will be splintered into individual, non-singular incarnations throughout the different universes, thereby nullifying the concept altogether.
In the real world, the Shrouding was an editorial event created to resolve the conflicts brought about by the concept of multiversal singularities, as the depictions of these singularities would often differ greatly from story to story, leading to contradictions and confusion among fans and creators alike. The Shrouding was therefore an in-universe event that undid the multiversal singularities as a concept to avoid further conflicts. Now, each reality in the multiverse could have its own unique version of Unicron, or not, or its own origin of the Transformers without affecting the other franchises in the process.
While most versions of Unicron in the multiverse remain evil and malevolent, there is one version that is good. As a result of the Shrouding, a good version of Unicron will come into existence in the Shattered Glass universe, a universe where the Autobots are evil while the Decepticons are good. This version of Unicron is a god of creation and seeks the balance of diversity in the universe. Much like the other versions of Unicron, this version is capable of repairing and reformatting the damaged bodies of Transformers to create the Knights of Unicron. He would use this ability to turn an evil version of Optimus Prime over to the side of good, creating Nova Prime in the process. Nova Prime and his allies would use this newfound power to defeat Primus, the evil brother of Unicron. With Primus defeated, a new era of peace was created in this universe thanks to the intervention of Unicron.
Overall, while his appearance and powers may differ from universe to universe, Unicron remains a force dedicated to collapsing the natural order and is one of the most powerful and iconic characters in the Transformers franchise, often signifying the end of days and being the force that unites the warring Transformer factions. As the Transformers franchise continues to grow and evolve, so will the character.
And with that, we have come to the end of our video. We hope you have enjoyed this video as much as we had fun making it. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like what I do, and do leave a comment giving some ideas or topic suggestions for future Mecha Talk videos.
Hey, thanks for watching everyone. Are you a fan of the Transformers? Do you want to know more about the deep, complex lore of the multiverse that many do not? Then why not check me out, primusprime22.